great effort. This is a build-up, the next step in the process for them. A lot of them have been at postseason bowl games. They've been to the combine. For some of them, it was their first opportunity to test in front of NFL personnel. I thought our guys handled it extremely well and performed really well.
Did anyone stick out in particular to you?
Man, I not just one guy. Like, you look at the way the entire group went through the process. You can see the way our guys tested at the combine. You know, Vols, second fastest wide receiver. Alante, I think, fourth fastest DB. Matt Butler in top 5 in defensive line, explosive speed. I think that speaks to what we're doing in our strength and conditioning program, what we're building as far as our players and their bodies and our nutrition staff, and then how they handled the process once they left campus and started training and getting themselves prepared for that moment. I thought today, a couple of guys that weren't at the combine, but Theo Jackson and Javante Payton tested extremely well, performed well in the individual drills as well.
You talked to Alante and Vols yesterday, but they both kind of just they were surprised they ran that fast at the combine. Were you surprised when you saw those 4.3 numbers flash by?
I mean, that's really fast. Just as we monitor and track them, their GPS data, their high-end speeds. Those are both guys that had explosive speeds on record, but I thought they were super efficient and handled it and performed really well.
Coach, the NFL personnel rely on you for information. What are some of the things that when they come over to talk to you, what are they looking for in some of these guys?
Yeah, the same things that we're looking for in the recruiting. You want great guys that are great teammates inside of the building, guys that are going to be consistent in the energy and in the way that they walk into the building, how they interact with the staff, their competitive nature, and their ability to learn and comprehend and then translate it to the field. You see them do and set up some of the individual drills in that way. So today is a test. The way that our pro day kind of unfolded. Had a chance to meet with a lot of our players last night as they came in, and today, while we had practice going on too. And so for area scouts, it was an opportunity for them to get a chance to see our current players and the guys that are rising inside of our program and have a first evaluation of those guys. Alante had a real injury and played the last month of the season with that injury. For him, it was absolutely the right decision for him, and we're going to help our kids go through the process the right way, learn, investigate it on the front end, make sure that they have a plan, make sure that they're ready when the opportunity comes and it's time to start embarking on that plan, the ability to work through it and handle the process the right way. I'm extremely proud of this group and what they've done, through today as they lead through this NFL process.
How beneficial can this be where you take guys like Vols and really all these guys, that their value increased over the year that you and your staff were here? How can you take and use that as you move the program forward?
Well, I think for every one of those guys that came back, Theo Jackson, Alante Taylor made a decision, Cade Mays, Matt Butler, all of those guys dramatically increased their value and where this process is going to end and the new chapter begins for them. They've gotten that feedback during this process too, and I think it's a great lesson learned for the young players inside of our program. Speaks to who we have in the building and how we are helping develop these young men off the field, but on the field, and their understanding of the game, their fundamentals, their technique, our strength and conditioning staff, our nutrition staff. The end result is a really powerful experience right here that is going to prepare our individuals, our players for the next end. They're going to be successful here while they're playing at Tennessee, but they're going to be prepared for the next step, and that's their goals and dreams for every one of those guys that step into this building.
Some of the former teammates were here watching them as their pro day and supporting those guys out there. Do you think they can use that as inspiration ahead of the season, even to see what they could possibly be their future if they put in work here at Tennessee?
Yeah, for all of our guys, if they weren't going to class today, we wanted them in the building to gain knowledge and understanding of how the process unfolds. What does a pro day experience look like? What does it feel like inside of the building? The amount of pressure and of the situation and the eyes that are on you. I think it creates urgency in them and everything that they're doing, and ultimately, the end goal is for them to be in that position and take advantage of it when it presents themselves. Love what our team's doing right now in their off season, the way we've handled the first 5 days of spring ball, and where we continue to build towards.
Josh, given how instrumental so many of these guys were whenever you first started just in leadership, how cool is it to see them take the next step in that chapter just from your perspective?
It's a lot of fun for me to come out here and see them perform. You know, over the last 10 to 14 days, a lot of those guys have started transitioning back to Knoxville, been in our facility working out. A lot of them have been at practice as well, coaching our guys up, having fun, not being suited up, but being on the other side of it. Today is a great day for myself, our staff, and everybody inside of our program as we continue to wish great things for these guys and get a chance to see them compete at a really high level and perform the way they did today.